It's breathing. It's meditating. Why? Because that's how you tap into the infinite mind that you are. And that's where you surrender all of your needs to that frequency, which is constantly at work on your behalf.
Hello and welcome to the Business of Happiness podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Tarryn MacCarthy. And guys, today is going to be a phenomenal day. Today, I have with us Bambi Thompson. She's known as the Mind Whisperer. Yes, I'm bringing the Mind Whisperer to you. She's a brain coach for anxiety, transformation, and success acceleration. The interesting thing about Bambi is she actually, in her former life, was an occupational therapist, which I know many of you can relate to. And she has gone wildly woo, as she says. And she now helps ambitious entrepreneurial women who've gotten jammed up, bummed out, burned out, blocked, step back into their momentum. And she helps them find confidence to manifest strategically so that they can set and achieve bigger goals. And here's the thing: realize more money, more joy, and more ease. Hello, Bambi. You are speaking my language, more ease into their lives. And the tools she uses are leveraging neuroscience, mindset, human energy field, and the law of attraction to build their lives and businesses from an energetic foundation in place of an efforting foundation. Welcome, please, the one and only Bambi Thompson.
Thank you. I'm so excited, Taryn. I always love you. You and I always have a super groovy connection and energy and
Absolutely.
synergy when we connect. So I know this is going to be a really amazing conversation.
Yeah, we actually connected long before COVID was even a thought in anybody's mind.
Yep. Maine Women's Conference, I think.
Maine Women's Conference, absolutely.
Yep.
So it's so cool to see you. So cool, and welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I'd love to just start out with a little bit of your story, how you came from occupational therapy world into this new coaching world and maven of money magic mindset, supporting other incredible entrepreneurial women to step into their greatness. So what did this journey look like for you?
Well, it started in the womb. I was born wired to worry. I should say birth canal. I was born wired to worry. So my whole journey in life has been struggling with a monkey mind that was a bit diabolical. And a long story short, you can read my story on in my website. But long story short, essentially, what I did was I've studied holistic healing since I was 18, younger, probably 16, as a way to like kind of manage my mind. And I remember being 8 years old, sitting on a school bus, looking out a window. I know exactly what I was looking at when I had this very prophetic thought, which was, God, I wonder if anybody else is like me. Like, I just can't stop my mind from cycling the same stuff over and over and over again. It's like looping. And I wonder if anybody else has that problem. And I had the foresight at that age to say to myself, it's a damn good thing it's a positive thought. Because if it's not, I'm screwed. Well, guess what? Add hormones, add kids, add life. It got weird. It got wacky, and it got wild to the point where ultimately it landed me a year out of my life dealing with debilitating panic disorder. And so while I had studied all these holistic healing things, none of it was really energy. It was flower essences, herbs, vitamins, like things that were external coming in. And it didn't prevent me. It helped me, but it didn't prevent me from falling into the abyss. And so long story short, I went on Paxil for 7 or 8 years, a long time. And when I came off the Paxil very slowly, I started feeling the gremlins crawling up again. And I was like, man, I can't do this again. I have 2 little girls. Anyway, so I had the epiphany one day when I was really struggling, that if I got pissed. And I remember I timed it because when you have panic disorder, it kind of is all encompassing. That's your whole freaking world. Um, you're in survival mode. I remember timing it and going, okay, I can hold at bay the panic feeling for 6 seconds before it slams in again. And the effect of that was just super debilitating. And there was one day where I said no, and I got pissed at it.
Mm.
And I saw in my mind a hand pushing this energy down. It started at my root chakra and it would spread up. And once it got to here, if it got my brain, I was done for 8 hours. I couldn't rein myself in for like 8 hours because of the cortisol blast. Anyway, so I went no, and I stopped it and I was like, holy shit. That was about 15 seconds. I held it away and I started playing with this awareness that energy being here I am, I'm moving into the paradigm of everything external coming in, paradigm of me, my brain, and what I'm thinking and what I'm doing with my energy field. And so basically, that was the beginning of the trajectory out of that diabolical hell. And I started helping people with anxiety because I had learned how to master things. In that journey, I learned I was an energy healer. And that was cool because I learned how I was an energy healer was helping my friends who had cancer. I was going to do chemo with them and I would do guided meditations. And one day I said to my friend, I go, God, my rib is really hurting right here. And she looked at me, she goes, how do you know that? I'm like, what are you talking about? And she said, how do you know that that's where my pain is? And I said, I don't know that. I'm just telling you where my pain is. And she said, well, that's right where it is. Anyway, through that session, I started communicating with her what was happening in my body. And I realized, holy crap, I am in her energy body. And if
Wow.
I know how to change my energy body, let's see what happens. Well, sure enough, I was able to shift her pain. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, this is crazy. So I learned that the reason I had anxiety from the day I was born, and whenever I work with somebody who comes to me with anxiety, I say, how long you got anxiety? Is this a situational thing? Or is this like your whole life? My whole life. I said, you're probably an energy healer and you don't know
Wow.
it. Yeah. And that's what turned out. So I started, working with the woman that I had been working with for her, doing energy work with me. She goes, I assumed you knew you were a healer. And I said, I have no freaking clue what's going down here. Like, anyway, so long story short, I got really honed in on how I can manipulate
Mm.
myself and other people's energy bodies. And my money was the reason I had panic disorder. So I focused on law of attraction, learning about it, like energy body and energy of money and all of these things. Always the focus on money because I was anxious about money because at that time I was homeschooling my kids. I've been a Renaissance woman. I've had many, many businesses, always me doing whatever I want for my family. I just go out and create it. And so I had run a homeschool center, homeschooled my kids for 12 years. In that, I kept attracting families with anxiety disorders and whatnot. And it was like, I finally went and realized I got to do this as a business. I have like incredible gifts. I don't know how to be an entrepreneur. Go get business coaching. And basically, long story is that I became kind of the go-to person for entrepreneurial people who were struggling with anxiety in my coach's program. And so I realized I don't want to help people with anxiety. Yes, that's part of the puzzle. I want to help people unleash their inner badass and just freaking rock their life and
Mm.
live at amazing experiences
Mm.
by teaching them how do you turn off that monkey mind and
Mm.
how do you step into your powerful mind, your, you
Mm.
know, your heavenly mind, your divine mind. And so I talk about puny you, powerful you. And so then I really started shifting my branding and realizing I can really teach people how to use their energy to create greater success with more ease and more fun and be playful instead of anxious and tight.
Oh, so good because when you're in that playful ease, that's when you can actually access your brilliance and your intelligence and
Yep,
what you really want to manifest in your life and how you want to be for your community, patients, family, children. Really
100%.
cool. Really
100%.
cool.
And when
So
you're dealing with money, you really got to be playful and curious, because money, think of money as little angelic cherubs that are like fluttering all around you, and they're like kind of flapping their wings on your face saying, let us in, let us in, let us in. And we're like struggling. I got to make money. Where's my next client coming from? Blah, 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 which is the wrong way to go. And they just want to be with somebody who's playful. And so the more playful you become and the more
uh,
expansive you become in what you want, like think of buckets for your money to fall into, the more you have joyful, exciting buckets that light you up,
mm,
you're connecting your energy into that bucket, and the money just wants to come right in, right? The money doesn't want to come play just because you want to pay off your debt, get a new car, and get a house.
hmm.
Boring, right? They want to play with you because you want to surprise. Here's one of mine: surprise your husband with a tickets to a bareboat charter down in some tropical place, and take them on vacation for 2 weeks. We're sailors, so boats factor in big in our life. Or I want to ride on the Orient Express, or I want to take my family. We're all chefs. I want to go to Italy and do a tour for cooking classes.
Oh,
That shit's cool and fun and exciting. And I'll tell you what, money is just blamming in because I'm creating the buckets that are fun.
so how do you help your clients who feel the urgency of money? So they'd love to get to going to
Mhm.
Italy on some fabulous vacation, but right now they have student loan debt. They
Mhm.
have bills that are coming in. So how do you maintain that sense of levity and play and curiosity and abundance when
Yeah.
you feel those collectors on your heels?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is it's all energy. Everything is energy. So we have to quiet down the anxiety and ramp up the excitement. So what I work with is questions. We ask a lot of questions. Examples: what would it take for me to find new clients with ease, joy, and glory?
Mm.
Ask that question and then say, anything in the way of that, I release it and let it go. Or I do, I use like the access consciousness clearing phrase. But whatever your phraseology is you say anything in the way of that, or anything that would block that, or anything, da, 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 don't have to know. You just say everything that is, I release and let it go. Transmute and transform it, uncreate and destroy it, whatever your language is. And by living in the question, you're activating your reticular activating system. Remember, I'm a brain coach. You're activating, that's where the OT was when I didn't say that I was an occupational therapist. You did. But that part of your brain is always searching, right? It's like
Mm.
a Labrador retriever that's looking for um, whatever you're thinking about to bring it back in.
Yeah.
So if you're thinking, I can't pay my bills, holy shit, my clients are leaving. Oh my God, right? Oh my God, oh my God. Your reticular activating system is like a giant eyeball on your head, looking around for other evidence of you to feel, oh my God.
Yeah.
And so it will bring it in. So if you start asking questions, your reticular activating system cannot stand having an unanswered question. And so if you start asking, where are my next clients going to come from? And how is it going to be so joyous for me to attract them?
Mm.
You keep asking that as a mantra and just keep clearing anything that's in the way of that. I release and let it go. Your key words for your key search of your brain is finding clients, ease, joy, fun, speed, if you want to put that in, whatever. I like to say I make money whether I work, sleep, or play. I say that because I have a mom with dementia who I am, spending a lot of time with. And I said, okay, God, I'm giving it to you. Universe, you figure this shit out because I'm going to go have a beautiful day with my mom. And I'll come
Mm.
back and there will be an email with somebody just signed up for a strategy session.
Mm.
I didn't go into, ooh, I'm not working. I went into the joy of knowing that the universe has my back and it's taking care of my business when I can't be present in it.
So
And it
cool.
works all the time.
So you're using language as a way to activate that energetic
Yeah.
effect.
You language that elicits an emotion. The
Mm.
emotion is the thing that flips the switch on the law of attraction, not words. Because how many people have said affirmations over and over and over? This doesn't work for me, right? Okay, so part of the problem with affirmations is it might be that it's too far from your reality. Like, you're not going to say I'm a millionaire when you're freaking broke. That is going to, create a discord in your frequency. So if you can say, it's going to be great when I figure this out, and I
Mm.
have all the clients, more clients than I can need. See how soft that is?
Mhm.
You're acknowledging to your ego, I don't have them yet, but it's going to be great when I figure it out. The eye is on having more
Mhm.
clients than you can handle.
Mhm.
Your
Beautiful.
focus is that, right? Yeah. So you have to have something that creates an emotion. Emotion is the thing that creates the frequency or the
Yeah.
vibration that's going out. And everything is about the vibration. So you use your brain to elicit an emotion, the emotion elicits a vibration, and the universe will always match your vibration.
If you're listening to this podcast, chances are you didn't get into business to be miserable. The problem is that people feel that if their business gets busier, if they start becoming more successful, that happiness will eventually set in. But it can actually get worse. This is why I created the Business of Happiness Prosperity Coaching. In this one-on-one coaching, we look at how to redefine success on your terms and re-find the joy and the passion in your dream. Visit me at thebizofhappiness.com and become the happiest business owner you know. And the great thing about that from the recipient's perspective is you pick up on your energy. So when I'm in your energetic field, now I feel that ease and confidence
Yeah.
and assurance. So I'm more likely to be playing with you with money than
Mhm.
if I felt this urgency and this tension and control.
100%.
Mm.
So be curious. Like, oh, I wonder where it's going to show up next. Wow, I wonder what the universe is going to bring me. So
Mm.
here's what I want you. I work a lot in analogies and visuals because the brain loves visuals. So see yourself as standing at the receiving end of a long conveyor belt. And the conveyor belt has all these boxes coming in, right? And these boxes are placed by you in previous hours, days, minutes, years, whatever, when you were thinking thoughts. You're putting boxes in on this thing, and it comes. Now, if you are putting boxes on 3 months ago when you were going through a hard time and you uploaded a whole bunch of boxes with your thinking, right? And experience. You with me? You following this?
Absolutely.
Okay. The cool thing is that there are people all along the line of the conveyor belt to
Mm.
remove and switch out the boxes based on what your vibration is. So even though you had a really nasty, session of scarcity thinking, oh my gosh, all these things are, the economy, the recession, like all this stuff everybody's talking about now. It's like, man, that ain't happening for me because I'm not buying into that. I'm not watching it. I'm not reading it. I'm not listening to it. Every thought, everything you read, everything you speak, you are creating.
Mm.
So I am always creating. I make money whether I work, sleep, or play. My clients love me. I am paid lavishly to love my life and love it more with people I love and places I love with adventures that I love. And I'm having that now. That's how I use my brain, whether it's in front of me or not. So the people along this conveyor belt are going, ooh, man, we just had a major uptick in vibration. Get that shit off and put in some good stuff. So it'll switch out before it lands in your life.
Mm.
Because what the box that comes to you is landing in your life because of the dominant vibration that you have. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes you had a pretty dominant vibration that put a pretty big box in there, and they
Yeah.
weren't able to completely bring the experience up to where you are now, but it met halfway. And if you can just witness what's happening and recognize, I am witnessing the past.
Mm.
I am witnessing my past thinking, my past emotions, my past beliefs. Everything out here, if you really want to go down the rabbit hole with me, everything out here is not real. It's created by our mind.
Right.
That's what this quantum physics thing is it's the eye, the visual, the thinker is the thing creating everything. That's why you can have two people have the exact same experience and they'll walk away and report it completely differently.
Absolutely.
So you're, having me awareness, like, oh, cool, I can wait this out
Hmm.
because I've already shifted up my vibration and I can't wait to see how it starts to
Hmm.
uh, change this circumstance.
So I'm going to put that in very real terms
Hmm.
from my audience perspective.
Yep.
So if I am a dentist having opened a practice, I'm trying to cultivate new patients coming in the door, and I'm practicing this new energetic vibration. I'm using my mantras. I'm really feeling the emotions behind it. And yet
Yep.
evidence keeps coming to my door of lack,
Hmm.
scarcity.
Hmm.
What you're saying is recognizing that that is the evidence of my old thinking. That's
Yeah.
the evidence of my old energetic vibration.
Yeah.
And that when I start consistently practicing this new energetic vibration, I'm going to welcome new experiences and be open and excited for those to come my way.
Correct. I love the word excited. I
Mm,
use it all the time. I am so excited to see what magic comes into my day today. I am
yeah.
so excited to see where my next client comes from. I don't okay, so here's the deal. Don't try to figure it out.
Mm,
Now, here's the other piece, and this is why I have quantum leaped. And this is why my Money Mojo Mastery women are like, oh my God, the course just ended. They're like, holy shit, I'm not stopping now. Like, what's next? What's next? They can't wait to pay me to say, what's next, right? Because this is working and we just opened it up and they're starting to get this momentum. Money doesn't come, clients don't come, opportunities don't come from out here. It comes from in here. It comes
beautiful.
from the divine mind, God, source, whatever you're working with. There is an infinite consciousness within you, a prosperous consciousness within you. The problem is it can't get the microphone and start talking and getting things to come in because you're over here grabbing the microphone and going, oh, I can't do this. This is hard. The economy, blah, 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 blah.
Mm,
You know, dentists don't get clients, blah, blah, blah. All this stuff, right? If you can surrender, let go, and just let God, I mean, there is truth in this. And this is why people are quantum leaping now, is because you're seeing it. If you're in the spiritual realm of entrepreneurialism, you're seeing it. This, goddess approach, or it's not thrusting, working harder. It's stepping back. It's breathing. It's
mm,
meditating. Why? Because that's how you tap into the infinite mind that you are.
mm.
And that's where you surrender all of your needs to that frequency, which is constantly at work on your behalf.
While you're sleeping.
While you're sleeping, while you're doing anything, as long as you're not silencing it by being over here talking scarcity
Yeah, absolutely.
and vibing scarcity.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that is what I have been doing, is anytime I have a thought that creates anxiety in my body, which I still do because I'm a human being with a human brain. The human brain is wired to look for danger. It's wired to look for what to prepare for,
Yeah.
right? You know, some people that I really know and like and love are very much prepare for the worst, you know, and I'm like, fuck, I don't prepare for the worst. I just like live my life in joy and like I watch their lives and the worst is always coming on. And I'm
Yeah.
watching my life and I'm living in like fairyland with all this
Mm.
good stuff happening. Why? Because I'm not constantly looking for what's the worst case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? Hello, you are activating your reticular activating system.
Yeah. Yeah.
What if you are constantly looking for the miracle? What if you're constantly looking for the ease and the flow and the everything? And I'm telling you, crazy stuff is happening because I am going to my bank account. I'm like, where the hell did that money come from? I'm going into my files and I'm going, wow, there's that whole new funnel that I was thinking just the other day. I need to get a new funnel. It's like, boom, there it is. Like, I don't even remember creating this shit. Like, who created this in my Google? Like, seriously, that's what's happening in my life right now. Why? Because I am out of the how. I am
Yeah.
1,000% aligned with there is an divine mind within me, which is tapped into all infinite abundance and
Mm.
prosperity. And I just go. So here's brain hack again. Your mind throws you a thought that's scary. Your physiological body throws you cortisol,
Mhm.
adrenaline, the things that make you go. So think of that as you just threw a bucket of paint into a gentle stream. Okay.
Mhm.
You get the thought, bam, there's like pink all over the place. It's really intense, it's really concentrated. If you don't think another thought
Mm.
of that fear and you go, ooh, I had a thought, I've had a release of cortisol and adrenaline, and just watch it and watch the mechanics of your brain, because in 90 seconds, your brain, if you don't give it another negative thought, your brain and your body will process all of the cortisol and adrenaline out. And in 90 seconds, you'll be back to a normal state.
Hmm.
And I say that is a mechanical process of your body, so that if you can go, ooh, I just had a really scary
Mm.
thought. I'm going to watch that process Bambi was talking about. I'm going to sit here for 90 seconds and just watch the paint pot get carried away.
Love it.
Right? Yeah. And so when you understand how
Bringing
the brain
on
works,
bringing on, like, a non-judgmental observer,
yeah,
just
totally.
observing what just
Be
happened.
curious. Yeah.
Be curious. Yeah.
And then if you want, switch out the color of the paint and
Yeah.
start going, wow, isn't it funny that my brain does that? Every day people deal with these things. Every day there's new skills that I haven't learned yet that are going to completely change everything. It's going to be great when I figure this out and it's all behind me. And I know, like, you start, what is your self-talk? And that's what I do, is I set systems up for my clients where it's like when the shit hits the fan, they know exactly what to do because they've got the Bambi protocol of, this is what I think, this is what I do, this is how I tap myself out. I have a lot of different modalities, and they're able to become more resilient. And that's what they love the most, is that they're like, I am so grateful that you have taught me how to rein in my brain and be in the driver's seat
Yeah.
instead of life slamming me down and squashing me.
Yeah. Yeah. Such a powerful way to be, by the way, to be back in the
Yeah,
driver's seat and not the victim of external circumstances always. Yeah.
always. Yeah,
Yeah.
we have to be
Beautiful.
very careful with what we think about.
So you've mentioned this several times, but tell us about this Money Mojo Mastery class. Who is it for and how do we find it?
So there is a DIY course. It's $197, and it is something that you can walk through that is going to give you profound energy clearings in each module. And basically, we talk about how the energy of money works. There's a workbook that goes with it. And, but in every single module, there's energy clearings, there's mindset shifts, there's
Mm.
hacks. And basically, what we're doing is walking you through, first, awareness. This is how it all works. Second, how to slay the saboteurs, the monkey
Mhm.
mind, the money monkey mind. That's one of the modules. And then there's a very, very powerful energy healing meditation that I walk you through, going through the past and rewriting the script of your life. Energy can't be destroyed, but it can be changed. So in this meditation, we go back through your lifetime, and let's say you had parents who were very, tight with their money, always talking about money from a scarcity thing. We imprint these things. So we go
Absolutely.
back through time and we rewrite that script. And
Cool.
how do you go through your life having had parents that talked openly about money and trained you about money? And you go through, and the day that I did that, I channel when I speak or when I teach, and I go back and listen to these things and receive them as everyone else does. Um, the last module, there's 5 modules, and then there's kind of a Q&A, and the last module is how do you manifest money, and it's all manifesting games. So you can jump around or you can do it through. And then periodically through the year, I will gather the Money Mojo people who have purchased that, and we'll have an energy mastermind. And we get together and we do some live work with me. So that's a great, if you're really
That's so
stuck, that
cool.
is a really good product to purchase. It's a DIY, but it gets you in my world. And then we have these periodic
So
play
cool.
times. Yeah.
So here you are delivering this amazing value, amazing content, changing other women's lives and men's lives.
And then, yep.
And, I just am imagining these two versions of Bambi, the one that was really imprisoned by those panic attacks,
Very much so.
fearful, and this new version of you. What do you think was the most important switch that was flipped there for you? What was the biggest contributor to that change in who you be today?
I remember the exact moment that
Mm,
it shifted, and I downloaded the awareness that um, every day in every way, the thought, this is a famous phrase, every day in every way, I'm getting better and better and better. I came up with, if I wish I had the notebook here that has the things. There was a recording of Deepak Chopra talking about how many days, weeks, or months does it take the human body to completely replace your organ, like a lung or a whatever, because cells are dying every day.
mhm,
Cells are being born every day.
mhm,
And I was driving my car and I had the epiphany that if cells are dying every day and cells are being born every day, the cells that are dying, as long as I'm aligned with this, are carrying away my mental illness.
mhm.
And the cells that are being born into the frequency of what I'm holding in that moment. And I started the phrase, every day in every way, my thoughts are getting more and more positive. Every day in every way, everything is getting better and better and better. That is like a classic affirmation. I can't think of the guy's name who wrote it, but that was my turning point, because I recognized that I was in control, not my
Yeah,
brain, and that ultimately my brain would change too.
yeah, yeah. Oh, that's so beautiful. I love that imagery as well,
Yep,
because in that is also an energetic welcoming of
very much so.
change. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah.
So, today in Bambi world, what does happiness mean to you? What is your definition of happiness?
Oh man, freedom.
Mm,
Happiness to me is freedom of knowing that I am the creator of my reality,
mm,
and the freedom to choose whatever the hell I want for my reality, and the freedom to relax and surrender all of my concerns and my worries and my hows to the divine mind that I am, meaning there's a presence inside of me. Actually, I'm inside of it. Like, if you have the analogy, okay, we all walk around thinking we're a little bundle. But if you can think of your body, like, drop the barriers of your skin, your outer container, and just open up and realize, actually, I am inside my consciousness. And my consciousness is inside God's consciousness. Think of an egg, right? The yolk is me, my consciousness, and the white is God's consciousness. So just happiness for me is letting go of all of my worries and just coming into a still place and letting God's consciousness bring a frequency into my body, and know that God is 24/7 source, the unicorn in the sky, whatever your languaging is, it doesn't matter, higher self, right? If there's nothing outside of you, it's your higher self. That is always infinitely prosperous, abundant,
mm,
healthy, loved, capable, everything.
mm,
And it's working on my behalf 24/7, so I can just chill the F out and have
mm,
fun in my life. And when I go have fun and I stop thinking about clients and money and everything else, all of that is external.
mm,
That external is created by this.
mm.
And so if I need a new client, I go inward and I say to divine mind, I am so happy and grateful that I have this amazing woman. And I get real clear. What does she look like? What does she dress like? Where does she hang out? What are our sessions like? What do I feel like after my session with her?
Mhm.
And what kind of reports? I get emails every freaking day from my clients. I shit you not. text, emails. I get emails from people that I worked with 5 years ago, and they say, "You are the best money I ever spent in my life. I still use your tools."
Hmm.
That is why I love. That is happiness.
Phenomenal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for everything that you're bringing to the world, Bambi. Really. Thank you for honoring your own journey and for recognizing all the strengths that you bring because of the journey that you've lived. And thank you for having the courage to step up and bring this over and over again to support all the incredible men and women in our lives. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
And thank you so much for joining us here today, because I know that you have definitely sparked curiosity in my listeners' minds. For those of you who really, this has sparked a new idea of what abundance could be and your role in abundance. I encourage you to check out, we'll leave Bambi's links in the show notes. But for those of my audience who are listening while they're driving, Bambi, how can they find you online?
So if you go to bambithompson.com, you will see there's probably going to be a pop-up for my scarcity hack. That's a great free place to start. And I'm on YouTube, I'm on Instagram, and I do a lot of trainings on YouTube. So that's a really good place to jump over there. But definitely grab the scarcity hack, or if you get there, I have 2 freebies. One's a quantum success kit, whatever's, going at the time. That's a really good place to start, because both of them are serious transformation. And I'm so excited that hopefully you'll get in my world and land in my quantum leap lab. That is my newest offering.
Ooh,
And
that
I'm
sounds exciting.
literally birthing that right now. And I'm so stoked for that.
Oh, that
And
sounds so good.
yeah,
Quantum Leap Lab.
the
I love it.
quantum leap lab. Yeah,
I love it.
I'm very
And
excited.
even just to be in your energetic field, it's so exciting. Like, I just feel that resonance even online. Just so
Thank
exciting
you.
to be a part of that. So thank you.
Yep. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. Well, thank you to all of you for joining us as well today. And thank you for showing up for yourself every time with every episode. I honor you. I honor that you put your happiness first, and that you remind yourself that when you feel good, that is when you can do good. Bye-bye.